Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm trying something different as a friend of mine who shoots video basically all the time for a living. He said, you know what, you got a lot of cameras. Why don't you try 2 camera angles? And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just learning this, so I guess why not? May as well learn right, correct? Correct? Correct. Hi. So anyways, I have in my hands my brother Jim's Leica M8. This absolutely is a beautiful camera. I think he did buy this new. So he had it for a long time. He passed away a couple years ago. And this is a camera we used to laugh and make fun of him, but kind of we did. Because it would take him forever to take a picture, because this wasn't a Leica lens, this was a Voigtlander. And something with the focus wasn't right in the center, so you have to focus for this and focus. I said, Jim, why don't you just go buy a lens? Just go buy a lens. Nope, that's too easy. I want to be able to make this thing work. And so that was my brother Jim. If it was too easy, he didn't want to do it. This camera is just really, really pretty. It's just, I don't know, maybe because he owned it and he used it a lot. He had this leather case for it, like a half case. I'm not sure where you get these. I've looked pretty much a lot of different places, but I have not seen the style like this. So I had an M11, and then I sold it because I didn't like the rangefinder focus. I'm so used to a quick focus, and that's why I got the Q3, and I thought the Q3 would be great, and it is. It's phenomenal. Like I had said on my other video, it's a great camera, my favorite camera to use. Your downside is you only have one camera lens, and that's it. And yes, you can crop, but it's not the same, in my opinion, as shooting with a 85 millimeter 1.2 or 1.4 or 90 millimeter like they have at f2. Not the same. So maybe down the road, if I can convince myself to try the rangefinder again, I'll probably rent it from Lens Rentals, one of those places like that. See how I could do with it again, because I had the 90 millimeter Summilux, and I had the 50 millimeter Summilux, and a 35. And the 90 was so hard to hit. It looked like it was in focus, but it just was not. Now, I bought the electronic viewfinder, the Visolux 2, and it helped, but it really didn't help. For that 90 millimeter, that was a tough thing to hit all the time. It really was. So I figured, you know what? I don't want to kid myself and say, you know what, I can use this for a job, but I can't use it for a job. I mean, I could. I've done it, but the 90 millimeter is a little bit harder to do. 35 all day long, not a problem. 50 millimeter was pretty decent, hitting it sharp off and on. Most of the time, probably 85%. But once you hit that 90 millimeter range, where I really like to shoot portraits and stuff, and it was tough. Especially if you wanted to take advantage of the f2. I mean, why buy an f2 lens if you can't use it at f2? Why buy a 1.2 lens if you can't use it at 1.2? I mean, that's a really good question. I never understood that, why somebody would want to do that. So I figured if I dabble in that again with the rangefinder, I will try it with the M11. I really would like, and I know it's not practical. It's very limiting. Is the M11 monochrome. And I've seen some images from that, and yes, I see black and white images made from a color chip, but it is not the same. And the actual ISOs on that camera are unbelievable. I've seen 100,000 ISO pictures off of that monochrome that you will just literally blow your mind away. There is no noise. And it's just amazing what you can get with that. But it's a lot of money for shooting one format, black and white. I mean, the Q3 is limited enough with the 28 millimeter, but man, that camera, you're spending almost $9,000 on it, new. for something that just shoots black and white. You either have to have really deep pockets, you got to be stupid, or just in love with photography, and that might take all three of those. I don't know. But someday, if I find one used in a couple years, I might pick one up. They don't drop a whole lot in value if they're in pristine condition. You might save 15-20% on the camera body, but I mean, I've not seen them cheap. I haven't seen the M10 monochromes, or the M10R I had for a little bit. That was a beautiful camera as well. The color on that was beautiful. But I had the M11 for the longest, and I really did like the camera, but I just did not like the idea of trying to focus. Didn't know if I was going to have a sharp focus. And some of the things I do, I can't redo. So it's like, yeah, it's hit or miss. So not in my game. If it was a hobby, yeah, I wouldn't care. If it was a hobby, I really wouldn't care. But it's not a hobby. It is and it isn't. I get paid for what I do, and I love what I do, so it's kind of a hobby, kind of not. But I'm just rambling. Anyways, this is the M8. Love the camera. I think it's like 6 megapixels, not very much. And it's a crop sensor. And I remember taking my first picture with this in the studio, actually, of a friend of mine, really good friend of mine, Ron. And he had just got his hound dog, Earl. And I remember hooking the flash up to this, a hot shoot flash, so it would trigger, or no, I had the ProPhoto flash trigger on here. Didn't know how that was going to work. This lens is kind of limited, but it really come out really cool. And that was it. And I shot that, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to order one. And he had the M8 and he had the M9. The M9 quit working, and there was something wrong with the glue on the sensor or whatever. So Leica was giving 40% off a new camera if you wanted to send that in. So that's what I had done, and that's what I got the M10R. And then probably 3 months after that, the M11 came out, and it's 60 megapixel, and the new upgrade of everything else. I thought, you know what, I'm going to sell it. I didn't do too bad on selling the camera, and I ended up buying the other one. And again, I ended up selling the other one too. So I do love the system. I have the SL3, the Leica, or I'm sorry, the SL3 is on. It's going to be on order when it comes out. The SL2 is what I have. I bought it used. Really love that camera as well. But again, my all-time Leica favorite so far is the Q3. So let's see. They said they're going to announce the SL3 February or March, and it looks like it's going to be a price tag of about $8,000, which is a lot. So I'll probably have to sell some of my other gear to buy that, because I just don't want to go in debt buying camera equipment. I've done that way too many times before in the past, so we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Hey, have a good one, and I will see you around. Keep shooting. Talk to you later. Bye.